Here we are in Melbourne, got another load, and we're here today with Jono from Road Train Adventures.
Welcome viewers, and welcome back to anyone who's subscribed.
Welcome viewers, or welcome back to anyone that's subscribed. So what do you think about that for an intro, huh? Yeah, the people you run into. But well, we'll come back to Jono. We'll come back to him because I've got someone else to sort of, yeah, give you an idea about first, or I don't know, just fill you in. I run into someone else, or they come over to me actually. So I was filling up with diesel. I was getting some fuel the other day, and anyway, this young fella walks up to me. Well, look, when I say young, he's obviously old enough to drive because he's got his own car. I think it was a Ute. But he comes up to me and, you know, hey, are you Shane? I'm like, yeah. Turns out I am. Anyway, he just says, I saw you drive in and said, thought I recognised, and he said, then, you know, you got out and surprise, surprise, this guy has a few tattoos. But anyway, he says, oh yeah, just wanted to come and meet you, and you know, I watch your videos. And I was like, oh man, I always appreciate hearing that. I don't know what that is, but I'm gonna not run over it. I was, you know, like, hey, I really appreciate it. You know, look, at the end of the day, if I'm talking to myself, if I record myself talking to myself, and then I upload myself talking to myself, and no one watched it, you probably would just say, what's the point of doing it? So for yous that do watch, and for anyone that finds it interesting, and then the small minority of people that might see me out in the world and actually come up and talk to me and say, hey, I watch your videos, it is greatly appreciated. As look, if, like I said, if I was putting it out and no one was watching it, it's a hard task to sort of just say, I'm going to keep sticking at it for, you know, just to give you an insight on what we do out here. And I've had on the 2 previous videos someone commenting, sorry I forgot your name, about, I think it was fuse or relay number 34, to turn this buzzer off. I will look into it, I swear. I haven't been ignoring your comments. I just haven't got around to doing it. But anyway, young fella, look, I'm sure, look, it's not going to be any drama. I'm not going to say where you live and all that sort of stuff, but young Cooper comes up to me, says he likes the videos. He's been watching for a while. Now, I don't know what a while means, whether that means he's just gone through and watched, you know, the back catalogue of a few videos, or whether he's been hanging around for the past couple of years. Either way, I appreciate you tuning in. Says one of his friends also follows along. Anyway, he says, do you mind if I take a photo? Can I get a photo with you? Now, I'm not a very photogenic person. I don't like photos. No, I've never liked photos. Mum, from when I was a child, she could probably count how many, like on 2 hands, she could count how many photos she's got of me. 10. That was one for every year at school. I got school photos, and apart from that, it's about the only photos she ever got. I don't like photos. I don't know, I've just never liked doing it. But look, someone comes up, you know, they've at least broken that barrier to come and talk to me and to say, hey, can I get a photo? I'm not going to be the biggest fucking jerk off in the world and say no. Of course you can get a photo if that's what you want. I don't know why you'd want a photo of me, but just to, maybe it's just to say, hey, I saw this dude in fucking person. Whatever. Happy to have a photo with you. I've got one issue. It would not surprise me now, where we just merge on there, if someone decides that they're more important than everyone else and they try and run all the way up here. They do it on many occasions. We'll see if it's going to be one. It'll probably be this BMW up there. Yep, he's starting to. He's going to try and get in front of that bus. Look at him. Was it really worth it to get 2 cars and 1 bus? Look at, okay, it's not complete standstill, but getting 3 vehicles in front, is it really going to achieve much when you're in this sort of traffic anyway? Like this lane, that lane, you ain't going to be going any quicker. It's not going to get you to work 20 minutes faster by cutting that bus off. Where he's probably going to pull up here at this bus stop where coming around the corner anyway. Is there people at the bus stop? There is. Okay, person at the bus stop. 1. So that bus will likely pull in there. They would have got past them anyway. Young Cooper, you and your buddy that watch the videos, it's appreciated. Anyway, oh, what I was saying, I've got an issue with the photo. You got one and I didn't get a copy of it. So look, you can't, YouTube should bring out a function where you've got an inbox and you can message people on YouTube. If you can do that, let me know in the comments, because I don't know if you can. I don't think you can. I think it's just commenting on the videos. You know, you can send comments, but Coop, look me up on TikTok. It's just Shane Has Tattoos, 1 word. And can you send me the, just send me a message on there. Send me the photo, please. I tried to reach out to you after, you know, we left, or, you know, you left and then I left like 5 minutes later probably. But I was like, oh, I'll look him up on TikTok. He probably follows me there as well. I searched Coop, not Cooper. I just thought, oh, I'll write Coop, you know, like, because he could have a nickname. Or I've got like 23 people with the word Coop that follow me on TikTok. And I was like, I don't know what one you are. I can't message 23 people and be like, hey, did you just talk to me? That'd be a bit fucking weird. So, hey, just, if you could reach out, just send me the photo. Oh, you know, just so I've got a copy of it. It'd be cool. Oh, and I've got to say one other thing. Apologies in advance, or prior, or whatever. I apologise if I seemed a bit awkward. I tell you what, because I pulled up, and this was the plan. I put the diesel into the driver's side, I walk around, I put the diesel in the passenger side. I top this up to how I need it. Turn it off, I walk around, I do the other side, bam. I am standing there, I got out and I was like, I really fucking busting for a piss. I really need to fucking go for a fucking urine, I need to piss me pants. But I was like, nah, I'll have time to fill up. I'll have time. Anyway, I'm almost doing the dance where, you know, you can't see my legs, but I'm pushing my thighs together, and then I'm like on each leg, sort of bouncing up and down, like just fucking trying to fucking take your mind off it, doing that little piss dance, you know, like, oh yeah, I'll make it, and then you come over and talk to me, not saying that's a bad thing, and you know, you didn't distract me from what I was doing. But yeah, my mind was elsewhere. I was like, oh man, this, oh, he's come over, I'm gonna fucking piss my pants in front of him. And man, I honestly thought I was gonna piss my pants. Not from being nervous or anything, but because I was busting so fucking bad. Oh yeah, so sorry if it was like, I was a bit awkward. I was just like, yeah, I was sort of kind of, my mind was preoccupied with holding my bladder. So, anyway, after you left, and I was like, oh, that would have been a really good idea. You know, like, because honestly, you are the first, and this is the only reason I'm talking about it, you're the first person that's ever come up to me and said, can I get a photo? I was kind of like, took back. I was like, you want a photo of me? He didn't ask for a photo of the truck. He's like, can I get a photo of you? Like, of me and him. Like, we took a selfie, you know, next to each other, and I put my thumb up. You know, I don't know how to fucking pose when you get in a selfie. I was just like, oh, I don't know, like, whatever. And you are honestly the first person that's ever come up to me and said, can I get a photo with you? So I was sort of like, yeah, like I said, I was took back, and I didn't know. I was like, yeah, okay, you know, not a problem. But I sort of didn't know how to act about it. And then I was like, well, if you... I'm going to stay in this lane because that caravan looks super fucking slow. He just put his indicator on. Maybe he wants to get right. You never know. People with the caravans on, quite often they don't venture out of where they live, and then they just go, oh yeah, we'll just go here, and all of a sudden they're fucking getting sidetracked and they don't know where they're going, and that's when they start doing all these, oh shit, I'm in the left lane, I need to turn right, and they'll cut across 2 lanes, forgetting that they got a caravan on the back, or they're in the right lane, forgetting that they've got a caravan on the back, thinking they can still do a fucking 113 down the fucking road in a 90 zone. And he's going to prove me wrong here. He's fucking going quicker than what I thought. Yeah, so anyway, I thought, oh, well, that would have been a fucking perfect time, you know. You wanted to get me on camera. I could have used you on camera. So I was like, oh, if I would have thought about it, I could have grabbed my thing out and I could have done it with you. I could have been like, hey, just here with Cooper. Coop, do the intro for me. And you could have done the welcome viewers. Welcome back to anyone that's subscribed. So, yeah, I thought, oh, you know what? Next time I see someone, I'm just going to ask them, hey, do you want to, you know, if they come up to me, like, I'm not just going to go up to random people and go, hey, I'm Shane and I do little videos on YouTube. Do you want to be in a... I'm not going to do that. But if someone comes up to me and say, hey, I've seen your video, I'm just going to say, do you want to be in a video? We can do a little tiny intro like that. So, yeah, hey, Coop, you see me out again. If you want to do a little intro, you know where I fill up. I'll be there, you know, I'm usually there 4 times a week, you know, once either way from Melbourne to Newcastle. So, that's your invitation. Anyway, look, please, send me the picture on TikTok, because you can message there. And, anyway, like I said, so I thought, when I see someone, I'll just say to them, hey, do you want to do a video? Next day, I'm down Melbourne reloading with the load I've got on now. Old mate behind me, as you could probably fucking fit about 4 fucking what do they call them? Matchboxes fucking in between us. Thanks, bud, in the caravan. You can see how close behind fucking that bloody chicken carter was. When I call him a chicken carter, he's carting chickens. I can tell by how his trailer looks. Yeah, so anyway, turn next day. I've got the load on now. I just dropped half of it off in Sydney, the other half's going to Newcastle. So I'm loading up in Melbourne, and anyway, I'm in bloody loading inside the shed, and this guy's sort of walking up. I'm sort of near toward the back of the trailer. I'm strapping down. I see this guy walking in, and I can see him sort of beelining toward me, and I'm looking at him, and I'm like, you're not a worker. all the workers down. I know all the workers down there. I'm there all the time. I reload at the same place in Melbourne all the time. So I know the workers. Don't know all their fucking names. I'm just like, hey, bud. But I know them. Anyway, he's walking up and I'm like, who the fuck is this guy? And he gets a bit closer and gets a bit closer. I was like, I've seen that fucking head before. That's John from Road Train Adventures. Fancy running into you. He's seen. So that's how we, if you want to say, exchanged phone numbers before. If you haven't seen the video, I'll give you a quick rundown. He saw one of my videos. He does video. Okay, he does YouTube. Kind of big time. Okay, he's one of, if not the biggest bloody truck YouTuber in Australia. Anyway, he's stumbled across one of my videos. Anyway, he sees where I was loading out of, and he's like, I go there very rarely on occasion. See, look at this. I told you this guy's carting fucking chickens. Yeah, so he sees the place. He's like, I rarely, but on occasions do go to that place too. I wonder if I'll ever run into him. And so he goes there one day to pick up a load or half a load or whatever it was he got. And he went to the office and just said, hey, there's a guy, Shane, that comes in here, and they know who I am. Don't know that I do YouTube. But they just like, oh, well, there's a guy, Shane, can I get his number? And they sort of like, hesitated, but they're like, no, we're not, And he said, oh, look, I do YouTube. No, this is John. I do YouTube. I've seen him on YouTube. I just want to, just chat with him, I want to just say hi. I want, just be friendly. And they're like, look, we're not going to give his number out. Anyway, he left his number. A couple days later, I'm back down Melbourne, and the worker actually said to me, in his broken English, he says, there was a guy here for you. And I was like, what do you mean, guy here for me? He's like, oh, he was looking for you. So, looking for me? So, yeah. And I was like, oh, okay, what did he want? He goes, oh, he wanted your number. And I was like, who was he? And he goes, I don't know. I was like, oh, okay. He said, oh, office, go in the office. So I went in the office anyway, and I said, was there some guy the other day looking for me? And they said, yeah, his name was John. Like, okay. Who the fuck's John? Like, that's a very common name. He said, oh, I don't know, he wanted your number. And I was like, well, do you know what for? Oh, no, he was just asking for your number. I was like, well, that doesn't help me at all. Anyway, I said, well, have you got his number? They said, yeah, we've got his number. I said, well, give me his number, and I'll give him a call and see what he wanted. Now, because it was consensual, like this guy wanted my number, and then I said I want his number. So they passed his number on. So that's why they gave me his number. And yeah, because they hadn't talked to me about it, that's why they didn't straight up give him my number. If that makes sense, that's the way I believe it sort of happened. That left lane ends, but that guy's going super fucking slow. So I'm going to get past him. Usually I just hang back there, but now he decides he wants to fucking sit right next to me. That's not a good, smart spot to be, bud. So yeah, anyway, got on to him. Gave him I think I messaged him, because I was like, I'm not just ringing this guy, I don't know who it is, like just John, that's the only details they gave me. So anyway, I messaged him and said, hey mate, got your number from here, and it's Shane. Anyway, he's like, cool, and he said, I'll give you a call, a bit later on. Gave me a call, figured out who it was, he knew who I was, we had a chat, bam, there you go. So I said, I was going to give you the quick rundown. That was probably bloody, 4 or 5 minutes trying to explain that little story. But, so anyway, fast forward 4 or 5 months. That happened a while ago. He turns up where I turn up. And anyway, so he comes in and he's like, oh, I don't know if it was actually the first time he'd turned up there since he last went. It might have been. So anyway, he was like, oh, one day I might actually run into you. And then he drives in and he says, I recognise the truck. But he said, I wasn't sure if it was you because it's not super clean. I was like, hey, bud, don't fucking hurt me feelings. Look, there's a few bugs on it. You can see the windscreen. There's a few bugs, you know, from driving a bit of night, and you know, it's not super clean because we're halfway through the week. And yeah, like it's just road dust and shit. So anyway, he's like, oh, and on top of that, I'll tell you what else I'm fucking pissed off with. Rotated all the tyres last week, so I went to the tyre shop. I said, I want to pressure check everything. So we've gone through the trailer, pressure checked all the tyres on the trailer. Yep, spot on, bang. I was like, perfect. I said, pressure check everything on the truck. Check, oh, yep, sweet, not a problem. Might put a few PSI in a few tyres. Yep, not a problem. Anyway, I said, rotate the whole lot. Not the trailer, but I said we rotated the steers and we rotated all the drives as well. You know, like we just said, look, might as well just do it. And look, tell me it's too coincidental or not. I don't know how long I've been this, for like 4 months. Not a problem, no issue. We rotate the steer tyres. 2 days later, driving along, well, I start the day, like in the morning, I have a walk around, you know, like kick all the tyres, check everything. But do me walk around in the morning, everything's fine. I get to the fucking place I'm delivering at, me fucking hub cover from the bloody wheels bloody come off. It's fuck's sake. So yeah, it wasn't really impressive that. Like I said, tell me it's just too coincidental to happen that for 4 months it's never fucking moved. They take the tyres off, they put the tyres back on, and 2 days after it, well, like 4 days after it happened, but those 2 days it was bloody parked up at the yard because, you know, I went home and had 2 days at home. But yeah, little bit of the trip later, she just fucking comes off. So they mustn't have bloody pushed the bloody cap back on 100% square or 100% properly or something. So gotta get a new one of them. Oh, it's ugly. Driving around with one on and one off, it's fucking ugly. Anyway, yeah, he's like, oh, then I had a look at you and he's like, yeah, this guy's got a bit of ink. It's gotta be him. Anyway, so he come up to me and he says, so you finally get to meet you. And I was like, hey, bud, how you going? You know, so yeah, good to finally run into him. And anyway, it was a bit busy there yesterday, so I was loading up in door 2. You usually load up in door 1. Someone else was in door 1. I'm in door 2, so they can load us at the same time. I said to the place, I said, look, greatly appreciated. You know, it's all about keeping everyone moving. So as soon as I was done, strapped down, I just rolled out the tarp on top, and I was like, I'm going to pull out so then old mate can come in, because there was someone waiting for door 1, and then he was, what we assumed, he was going to go in when I come out, you know, and the same 2 guys that loaded me and the first truck could load the truck that's going to go in there and the truck that, yeah, he comes in. Anyway, door 1 comes out, Adelaide truck goes in there. I come out of door 2, and instead of him going into mine, the place we're at decided that their truck was more important, so they brought in their local truck, and he had to fucking wait. I was like, oh, bud. Unfortunate. But, is this guy going to turn off, or am I going to have to overtake him? No, he's turning off. Beautiful. So anyway, yeah, he gave me a bit of a hand to tie the tarp down. You know, just, you know, how do you want it done? You know, sort of explained, oh, you know, like this is how I do it. I pull the ends out and then I like to flap it underneath, and this is how I tie it. Always appreciate someone giving me a hand. Sometimes Oh, fuck, sorry. Sometimes if you've got someone that offers you a hand that you know isn't a truck driver, sometimes I'll just say, I'm fine. Thanks for the offer, but I'm fine. But for look, I don't do any fancy knots. I don't do nothing fucking tricky or fucking flash. But for those people that haven't tied down tarps before, I would just rather do it by myself, because it's, rather than trying to give you the 15-minute rundown of exactly how to do it and how tight pull, how hard to do it, because then the other side you've still got to have enough pull down to so it's, you know, even, and rather than trying to go through all that, I just do it myself, bud. Appreciate it, thanks. But no, it's very few people these days will offer to help. I mean, one of the least times that you're going to get offered for help is when you've pulled a tarp off and you're trying to roll it up on the ground and it's fucking blowing a gale. The tarp's fucking doing this on the ground, starting to fucking drag down the ground. You go to flap it over, and as soon as you pick it up, the fucking thing gets ripped out of your hands, and it's fucking, it'll tumbleweed across the ground. One end stays where it is, the other end's fucking tumbleweeded, so it's like a big fucking corkscrew. What the fuck is this going on here? I'll wait till this blue one gets by me so I don't cut him off, because we're currently doing 87. He's not going super quick either. Jump it behind him so I didn't cut him off because I was going a little bit slower, but we'll get around fucking rigid boy here. Yeah, and then you've got to fucking unfold it, and then, you know, they're just looking at you going, that looks fucking awkward. I'm like, yeah, it's fucking real awkward, and you got 4 people watching you. Get on the fucking other end. And they're like, oh no, sorry Bo, we're busy. I'm like, well, fuck off and don't watch me then. That never happens, but that's what I feel like. You know, like if you're watching someone struggle and it's blowing a fucking gale, it's windy as shit, and you're seeing them try to roll up a fucking tarp, just go over and just, even if you don't know how to roll it up or like fold it up, just say, hey, do you need a hand? Or just stand on the other end on the ground so it can't blow away. Even just being there, doing that would help out sometimes. Now this guy is just going to sit right fucking there. You saw me get past him. He was doing fucking 87 k's an hour. Now he decides, because I'm going to get past him, he doesn't want to let me past. And I'll get him on this little fucking uphill fucking section. Yes, anyway, helped me out there, and I was like, oh, well, perfect time. And I didn't even sort of think about it like this, but I was like, I didn't even ask him about, you know, hey, do you mind if we do a video? I just said to him, because I was like, hey, we've been chatting, and you know, through this whole doing the tarp and all that, and like even when I finished ratcheting down, we were just having a chat and talking video and about, you know, different cameras and different people and different jobs and different loads, and we were just having a fucking chat about everything. Anyway, I was like, hey, we're friendly enough now. I don't even need to ask you. I just said, when I'm finished, I'm getting my camera and I'm going to do a little video and you're being in it. Didn't even ask. So I was like, you're thinking back now, it's kind of a bit rude, but he didn't have an issue with it. Anyway, obviously, if you've made it this far, you saw the little video we did. You know, just said, hey, you know, like, I'll just say, here I am, I'm with you, introduce you, you know, for anyone that doesn't know who you are, and you could do the little intro. Anyway, clicked it off, and said, you know, yep, thanks. You know, you're going to be part of my channel now. That's not going to go at the start of every video. That's just going to be on this one. So, yeah, anyway, he says, that strap looks fucking loose as fuck. I'll be checking that, bud. He said, oh, is that it? I was like, yeah, mate, that's it. He goes, oh, you didn't want to do like a back and forth, you know, like just chatting with each other? And I was like, oh, I didn't even think about that. And I was like, oh, look, we'll do that another time for sure. 100%, we'll do it another time. Surely, like, even if it's another 5 or 6 months that it takes for us to run into each other, we'll do another video. Let's do it next time. And but yeah, I sort of didn't even think about doing like an actual chat video, you know, which people would probably enjoy. But we'd already had a good chat anyway. After that, I was like, I've got to go do a piss, and I washed my hands up. Oop, this thing's beeping. So I've probably got to finish it up, wrap it up pretty soon. Anyway, yeah, it's about to go flat. So I was like, well, what did I fucking say? Oh, I was like, let's have a little, and we started just chatting a bit more, and I said, oh, I better get going. He's about to come out. So I said, you're going to be going in, so I better get going. And he's like, oh, well, you know, like, good chat and all that, you know, shook hands, but, you know, carry on. And he says, well, you know, hopefully it's not too late, you know, about 11 o'clock. Hopefully it's not after 11, because then it still gives him enough time, once he's loaded there, to go and pick up whatever else he had to pick up and muck around. I said, oh, I don't even know what the fuck the time is. He said, oh, either do I. His phone was in his truck. My phone was in here, so I just jumped up and I looked at it and went, oh, shit. He goes, what? Don't tell me it's after 11. I said, okay. I won't tell you. He goes, well, what's the time? I said, it's fucking 1 o'clock. So, I think we actually stood outside there talking for about 2 hours. Yeah, I could have actually got away a lot earlier out of Melbourne, but I was like, yeah, well, we sort of got sidetracked and fucking, yeah, there we are. So before this goes flat, I'll, hey, look, just do me a favour. I'll leave the link to his channel in the description. Go over to his channel and just leave a comment on, I'm not going to say what one, you know, I don't know when you're watching this what the latest video is going to be, but just go over, click on any one of his videos and just say, Shane sent me. We might get a little back and forth action sort of going on, I don't know. But word of the week, who's the most famous person you've met? I don't know if he's the most famous person. He's definitely the most highest popular YouTube sort of person I've met, I suppose, short of saying someone that's in a band, I guess, you know, because bands are pretty popular and stuff. But who's the most famous person that you've met? Come on, that's, surely there's going to be some people. You've met the Queen, you've met Elton John, well, he's a singer as well, but have you met fucking Rowan Atkinson? Did you meet Heath Ledger before he was no longer ledging? Yeah, just throw that in the comments, let me know. Before we before this goes completely flat and before I fucking have to overtake this fucking P-plater going up a fucking hill. Yeah. Appreciate your time. Thanks for watching. If you're new here and you're not already subscribed and you've watched all this fucking way, you might as well just subscribe. Alright, like I said, before this goes completely flat, I'm going to go. So we've been here for about 30 minutes, 34 probably. And yeah, if you see me out in the wild, you want to be in a video, come up and say, hey, let's do an intro. And you could be featured in one of the next ones. So, yeah, bye for now.